Hi everyone, I'm Risensy. Today we're going to talk about a powerful node. I'll explain the is_a soft node, how it works, and where to use it. I'll also demonstrate it with a practical example. So let's start. I'm going to show you a simple example. Watch this. I trigger the event, and the cube at the top becomes a physical object and falls. Everything works great. But let's take a look at the code. This is the code for this trigger, so what happens? When the trigger overlaps, I cast it on my character, and then, if the cast is successful, the cube becomes physical. The cast node in this case checks the class of the object that overlapped this trigger. I just need to check that it's the player's class that overlapped this trigger. All good. So everything is fine and correct, except for the logic behind using the cast node. As I mentioned earlier, the cast node's role here is to verify that the player's class overlaps this trigger. The problem here is that the logical understanding of the cast node and its role in this context has been compromised. We're simply using the cast node to check the class. Logically speaking, this is incorrect. We're using the node for the wrong purpose. We don't want to call any function from the player's class or set any variable in it. We just need to check the type of the class that overlapped this trigger, and that's it. That's the whole point. I'll repeat myself and explain the essence of this problem. The problem lies in the logic of using the cast node in this case. In our case, we simply want to check the type of the class that overlapped this trigger. We don't want to call any function from this class or change variables within it. The problem lies in a logical misunderstanding of how this node is used. I'm not talking about creating hard references between blueprints. In this case, that's not the problem, but merely a circumstance that will serve as a cause and effect relationship, because the player will already be loaded on this level, and this actor won't trigger the player class to be loaded again. Let me give you another example. Imagine you're working on a team. You wrote this code where you simply needed to check the class type of a player when they overlapped a trigger. You used the cast node for this. You committed the changes. 6 months later, you open this actor and see this code, or another team member does. Since 6 months have passed, you don't remember why or for what reason you used the cast node. Perhaps you wanted to call some function from the player, or maybe you just wanted to check the class type of the object that overlapped this trigger. You don't remember because so much time has passed. This can lead to misunderstandings. So how do we solve this problem? We just need to check the object's type class. I'm too lazy to open my player class and add a tag or gameplay tag there. And also because I'm afraid. I'm afraid to open my player class because it has a lot of dependencies and something terrible could happen. Okay, let's continue. So in this case, the node is a soft will help us. So, what is this node? It is a new node introduced in Unreal Engine 5.5. Its purpose is to check whether an object's type matches a specified soft class. If the object being checked matches the specified soft class, the execution output returns true. If the object being checked does not match the specified soft class, the execution output returns false. This creates a soft reference rather than a hard one between blueprints. And this node is suitable for our task, checking the class type of the object that overlapped our trigger. So, this node should be used when you just need to check the type of an object by the selected class. As I mentioned earlier, this node was only introduced in 5.5. If you're using an earlier version, you can create this node yourself. Create a blueprint function library and a new function in it. Add a new input. Set the variable type to object reference. Add a new input. Set the variable type to object soft class reference. From the input actor object reference, call the getClass function and the equals function. Connect the input actor soft class reference to the equals function. Add a new output of type Boolean. Connect the result of the equals function to the return node, and then use this function like this. So I specified the player class that the node will compare with the object that triggered the overlapped event and connected the true execution pin to the next node. Let's test it. Everything is working fine. The object that overlapped our trigger turned out to be our player class, and the subsequent logic was executed. The cube above became a physical object and fell. Everything is fine. So, let me summarize. I've told you about the isAsoft node and demonstrated how it works with a practical example. Using this node, we fixed a logical error in the code by removing the cast node and implemented a proper check for the player's type. So, if you just need to check an object's type by class, simply use the isAsoft node, or actor tags, or gameplay tags. This node's functionality isn't limited to just checking the player's type. You can also check whether the object being checked has an interface or a child class, but that's a whole other story. See you soon, my friends.